Matthew, because you're so passionate about SaaS security, software as a service, I'd love to get your opinion and and explain educationally what it is. What's CASB, and is it or is it not a good solution?
So CASB, and again, it's I hate to say it, it's a marketing term, right? And it's when you look at SASE or CASB or any of the marketing terms out there, it's really simply a bundling of typically best practices. And they evolve over time. So I wouldn't get too tied up in looking at specific acronyms and going, oh, that's the best thing since sliced bread. That will solve all my problems. That's where we're at. No, it typically is simply applying certain best practices. Another one is zero trust. Yeah, zero trust is it's definitely a buzzword, right? It's a great concept, fantastic concept. And it's simply pulling together things that the industry has said we should be doing for a long time. It's pulling it together under this nice little marketing brand, and it's getting a lot of attention, which is outstanding. Don't focus on the acronyms. Instead, and with CASB, right? We want to focus on what are those material things that we need to do. We need to be able to have visibility. So we need to know what assets are out there, right? If you look at NIST, it's the identify aspect of it. Okay, great. I need to know where my data is, what technology I have, so on and so forth. And CASB, you have to look at it from the cloud perspective as well. Right. Now I need to, again, make sure that that's secure, it's configured, right? I need to make sure that the access and the permissions of people going into it are secure. I need to potentially put other barriers around that. Great, that can stop bad things, but I know bad things are still going to happen. So I need to have some detective controls so I can see when bad things happen. And in fact, you may have chosen not to put a mitigating control in place and instead put a detective and a response control in place because it could be a lot less expensive or a lot less burdensome. And we see that again in the cloud space. When we talk about cloud design, which is a little bit different than your on-prem designs, many times people aren't necessarily coming into the office and then connecting out to the cloud. They may be going directly to the cloud. So you need to move where some of these protections are. And again, when we look at, SASE and CASB, all those, it's about intersecting at the closest point to where the potential threat or risk is. Great. And once you're able to, or you've got detective controls, you have to, again, then you need to have those. Well, what are my response? What are the capabilities that I need from tools and processes and people that if something bad does happen, how do I quickly, and I've detected it now, how do I quickly maneuver to contain it and then recover from it? And in some cases, you may want to recover to where you were. In other cases, you may want to recover to an improved security posture. And in some cases, you may just want to burn it down, right? This was legacy UL. I didn't even know why it was even there to begin with, right? Nobody uses this. Burn it down. We don't need it. So kill it off. But you need to have those capabilities. And again, when you're looking at these kinds of acronyms, they should have elements for all of those. And the vendors who loves throwing it out there, hey, we're a CASB vendor, we can do this, it's the best thing since sliced bread. That's great. Tell me about how you're going to help me predict threats, how you're going to help me prevent them, how you're going to help me detect them, and how you're going to help me respond. And then make that a continual information and learning loop so I get better every single time. That's really what you want to talk about.